Hey everyone, it is Joshua with New Review coming at you with a review about a trailer. Now that seems a little strange, but it is the trailer for Season 5 of RWBY. So, typical uh, understanding of most of the trailers that have ever been released for RWBY, it is a significant amount of fighting. So, the trailers for Season 1 RWBY were the character introduction trailers. And those were very fighting centric, and it kind of introduced us into this world a little bit. Definitely introduced us to the monsters of Grimm in the first one with Ruby Rose. Of course, there was a bit of a redesign for them. The intention was to draw a connection between her inspiration material, Little Red Riding Hood, since Little Red Riding Hood and Wolves. The second was Weiss Chani, and hers was to draw a connection to uh, Sleeping Beauty, mostly through her song Mirror on the Wall, was a lyric in the song for her trailer. Blake kind of introduced us to a little bit of a political elements of the series, and a little bit of a connection to her source material, Beauty and the Beast. Helping that is that her mentor, Adam, is the same name as the Beast. And Yang Xiaolong, Little Red Riding Hood, she fought. One of her opponents was a guy named Bear. Well, his name means bear in Chinese. That one was a little bit harder to connect, to be honest. But those four trailers were very fighting centric. And then the trailers for seasons 2 and 3, not so much. Season 3 was the tournament arc season, so there was a bit of fighting in the trailer. But overall, again, those two were very much like story plotline centric trailers. The last two trailers, season 4 and 5, kind of harken back to the first trailers, partially because they're very fighting centric, and another it's a way to reintroduce the characters, because between seasons 3 and 4 there was a time skip, which was really the first major time skip that occurred. In the first few seasons, it was a few days. Between seasons 3 and 4, though, it was about 6 months. So we kind of had to reintroduce the characters. A little bit of a there was a bit of a character redesign for all of them, so we had to get introduced to that. However, I'm gonna now go into this trailer. This trailer was very different in that it had similar elements to the original trailer that Weiss had. She's in her season 1 through 3 costume. She has her well, I guess that's about it with the similarities. The differences are she doesn't have her signature scar over her eye that she had and received in the first trailer we ever saw of her. And her minor difference here, her ponytail is in the center of the back of her head instead of like a side pony. So that is very interesting. Now the substance, it's very similar. She's fighting monsters, although she's fighting Beowulfs, and these Beowulfs are white. So at first it's like, oh, it's a reference to the video game that they're making, which very well it may be a reference to the video game. But you also got to remember that in this world there are semblances, which are special abilities, and the Weiss family semblance is hereditary. So these could be summoned creatures, because depending on what opponents you defeat and kill, they become part of your arsenal for summons. And we know Weiss, by this point, we now know that Weiss has an older sister who's a huntress who's been fighting for a while, and so she's got a few kills on her belt. And could just be a little training exercise. And as the thing goes on, we see a lot of power of Weiss, and it's really, really good, really cool to see all of this, all these abilities. And by the end, we do realize that she is fighting summonses, and that Winter is helping her to leave the Schnee Mansion so that she can go to Vale and go to school at Beacon Academy. We also learn that this entire trailer is a flashback, and she wakes up in the vehicle that she was left in at the end of season 4. So this is implying that that this season is probably going to be like the first few seasons and pick up where it left off, which would be a very good way to start out the season, because I know all the main characters are now coming back together, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to be great. I'm looking forward to this season. So looking forward to October 14th. I can't wait. Kind of wish I had seen this at RTX, but it's hard to not go into RTX. So this is Josh Rosella with New Reviews signing off on RWBY Season 5's trailer.